Hey, it's Paul with LSP Data, and this video I wanted to walk you through how we created basically an AI research agent, and I'll walk you through it fairly quickly here. So, most of my videos that I've made over the last few years, I've pretty transparent on where you can get a lot of the data yourself, because obviously even the big vendors, the big data companies, right, are all tapping into the local municipalities, and that may include your local county, right? So for us, obviously over the years, hired multiple virtual assistants and basically had them go through a lot of research, right? So we have tons of knowledge bases and Google spreadsheets like this one, right, where someone manually went through them, right? And obviously that takes time, that takes resources, and obviously for me it takes money as well. So now over time I realized that as AI companies are getting better, right, there's multiple ones that do a great job at doing research, and one of them is Perplexity, right? At least that I think are quite good at doing specific tasks. So over time I've been able to create basic Python scripts to do those repetitive tasks that normally would ask of the of my VA. And here I wanted to show you a bit of a proof of concept that I came up with for an app. So at a basic high level, I'm interested in recreating the task that my virtual assistant or any research would do, right? To try to identify all this information. And obviously because over the years, because of our experience, we know where to get a lot of this data resources, right, that are available publicly, right? So the thought behind this was, how can I repeat this and basically make the task a lot shorter? But most importantly as well, you're never going to beat a human as far as the data accuracy of someone being able to visually inspect it and make sure that that is the data that we're looking for, right? So I used to spend time doing video recordings or doing multiple sessions with the VA so they understand exactly the data that we're looking for from here, right? So this is what I've been able to create in a small web application that I'm really excited to show you. And basically, a lot of this boils down to keeping a very tight prompt, right? So just to walk back a little bit, what I'm doing is basically created a basic web app that uses Perplexity. So I'm using Python Flask to search for this information, and that gives you the ability to search for a specific city and county, and then it'll return the information that you're interested in, right? So let's jump straight into it and give you a quick demo. So let's say we were looking for Houston, Texas. Let's say we were doing Chicago, Illinois. So I added the ability to do a multi-search and also enable this responsive mode, which allows us to basically provide feedback to the agent, because depending on, again, no AI company, etc., is going to be 100%, because a lot of the data sets that they've been trained on, or for example Perplexity, they may tap into index pages, right? I don't know the background of all of them, whether it's through Microsoft Bing or whether it's Google Index, etc. But the point here is that a lot of times they're going to give us potentially outdated information, right? And the point of this is not that they're going to get it 100% right, but that they're going to save us quite a bit of time if the information is accurate after all, right? So right now I'm just kicking off the research, and it's gonna usually takes maybe less than a minute here, depending on how many cities we want to add. And the other thing that it's doing is, even though I enter a city, it's doing two things. It's going to the city, and it's also pulling from the local county as well, because a lot of times, even though Houston, basically Harris County has a lot of information about Houston, right? So this is how it looks like, right? You can easily go ahead and basically check if those data resources are correct, which a lot of them are. And then, as you can see, some of them say pin, right? So in this instance, the pin ones are corrections that we made. Like I said, some of these ones are, they're not 100% correct, right? And what I mean by that is that the links that were showing up before were outdated, right? So let's see if there's any of them here that may be potentially outdated, right? So county clerks, also like this one maybe. So this is the civil courts. Yeah, so we do Cook County Civil Court. Maybe we could do civil court search, right? So it is the same one, but let me see, Odyssey guide. Okay, please use this link. So technically this would be the correct link, right? There you go. So this is the one, actually it's local civil courts. So in this case, I can say, well, you know what, this is not correct because this is probably outdated, right? So in this instance, I can say the actual domain is this. And I could just give it this as well, just the basic domain. And for the most part, it's smart enough to find the actual full URL, right? So in this case, what's happened is that it added, if we go back down, right? Now you can see this is the correct link that we're interested in, right? So it's a nice way that you as a user can refine this, and at some point, once you have the data or you're very comfortable with the data here, right? It's as simple as downloading that CSV. And basically, this is all the URLs and whatnot that is relevant to our real estate use cases, which is really awesome. And again, it doesn't have to be real estate. It could be any other kinds of data sets. But the part that I thought was really cool to share with you is that refinement of, I thought, because as I'm using this basic app, obviously we're coming across a lot of inaccuracies or outdated information. So I wanted to have a way that we can give the AI agent some feedback and make sure that we save them, right? But because the AI agent uses Perplexity, a lot of times it's just basically a big API call. We get the returns, right? So for me, I was thinking, how can I solve this problem? Because next time we run rerun this, it used to give us the same information, right? So the ones that you saw earlier that were pinned are basically being saved to a local database here. And I just refreshed it. And as you can see, the civil court for Chicago is this one now, right? So basically, let's just rerun it real quick, right? So if I were to do a new search and we do Chicago, Illinois, right? In theory, this should find the new information that we've updated here, because this is being saved as a small database to keep track of all those changes, right? And for us, well, that's going to make it a lot easier, because over time, it's going to default to our local sort of authoritative, the correct link, basically, right? In the future, I want to be able to run this through a small LLM to sort of train it, right? And if something like this ever goes commercial, I would love to give people the ability to, for the agent or the LLM to get to know you and your requirements, so that way it brings up more valuable or more relevant results each time. But in this case, as you can see, there's the pin ones, right? And I had done this one as well before, the Cook County tax list as well, which is, I believe, is here. So real estate county records. I don't know if I copied it or not. Nope. Let me see. So anyway, so yeah, it's really excited right now. It's a bit of a proof of concept, as you can see. But it's gonna save us a lot more time from the research, right? Now, can anyone do this? Well, yeah, of course you can. But I wanted to basically tell you that you have to do a lot of refinement, right? Like I said, we ran this, we have this company for a while, and we know where to get a lot of resources, how to search for it, etc. So you do need to have a good context of what data are you looking for, right? and also to keep, like I said, that system prompt very tight. And two, I've been able to add specific resources like, hey, for violations, use, say, local gov sites. This is a specific vendors that are in that space, right? So here's kind of like a name, right? The other bit as well is code violation can be the same thing as code enforcement. Pre-code violations are like 311. They can be service requests. There's multiple ways of searching for that. So this took a lot of consideration to get us to that state. And I would say, it does pretty good for us. But again, this can apply to real estate. This can apply to, I don't know if you're running comps, or basically think of any repeatable task that you need to Google or ask ChatGPT or anything else. This is the problem we're trying to solve. And again, I'm really proud of this version. Because one is saving us time and is helping our VAs do a lot more work with less, right? And at the same time, basically this refinement or the ability to provide feedback is gonna get us to a better space as well for future research tasks. But anyways, I thought I'd share this project with you because it's really exciting for me. And like I said, in this case, I've kind of, because there's a lot of trial and error from the development point of view, I added things like, a log. This is important because sometimes you want to make sure that, how is, what is being basically returned, right? And the bit here is that, you get to see, raw format of how everything was returned. The point of that is to see how the data is being returned, and two, if the agent is potentially hallucinating or there's anything going wrong, that way you can continue refining your prompt, and you can add more parameters as well as to say, hey, you're returning data from these sources, but actually let's exclude this ones, because as you know, there's a lot of websites out there that are commercial websites and they may have court records or other things, right? So I really don't want those to show up here because that's not really what we want. But so it goes back to the point that I said, you kind of have to know exactly where you're looking for, right? So that way you can make the agent a lot better and whatnot. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, or just wanted to walk you through that proof of concept.